Hello everyone, it's Lola here again, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very easy marble cake. This cake is one of the easiest marble cake you can ever try. It comes together pretty fast and the result is outstanding. So let's get started with this recipe. So the first thing I'm going to do is to spray my pan with some non-stick cooking spray. Then I'm going to be lining it with a parchment paper, just the base this time, and this is going to allow the cake to come out easily once it's done. I'll also be spraying the base a little bit with some more cooking spray. Then I'll be setting this aside. So for my next step, I'm going to melt my butter in my pan. So this butter is just to be melted and not to be overheated. As soon as it melts, you can just take it off the heat. You can also use your microwave for this. It's all well and good. So now the butter is well melted. I'll just take it off the heat. So while the butter is still hot, I'm going to be adding cocoa powder to this. Then I'm going to be whisking this together until the cocoa powder is totally dissolved in the butter. Once everything is well dissolved, I'll be setting it aside. So for my next step, I'm going to be adding 2 cups of all-purpose flour inside a large bowl. To that, I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk it together thoroughly because you want the air to be introduced inside the flour. Once that is done, I will also be setting this aside. In a separate bowl, I'm going to be adding my butter. To that, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of sugar, and I'm going to whisk that together until everything becomes creamy. And also, don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl so that everything can be well whisked together. So I'll just continue whisking this together until it becomes light. So I've been whisking this for about 3 minutes now, and I think I like the consistency. At this point, I'm going to be adding my egg one at a time. Now whisk the egg together with this mixture until it is well combined. At this point, I will now be adding my second egg. Then I will also be whisking this together until the egg is totally incorporated into my cream. As I said earlier, don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Very important because you want everything to be uniform. Once everything comes together properly, I will now be adding my vanilla extract. So I'll just be whisking this together for about 1 more minute. So our cream is ready. It's now time to add the wet ingredients together with the dry ingredients. So I'm going to be alternating the addition of my milk and my flour here. I'm adding half of my flour first, then I'll make sure I mix that until everything is well incorporated. As you can see, my flour has been well absorbed by the cream, and the next thing is to add my milk. I'm adding all the milk at once. Fold that in as well until the milk is totally absorbed. So finally, I'm going to be adding my remaining flour inside my batter. Mix that again until the flour is totally incorporated into the batter. So the batter is well combined, and as you can see, it came out very smooth and nice. So at this point, I'm just going to be taking out about 1 cup of batter from this mixture. You don't have to be perfect. A rough cup is fine. And I'll be transferring this into a separate bowl. And this is what we are going to be using for our chocolate batter. So to this, I'm going to be adding my chocolate mixture that we have made earlier. And once again, I'll be folding that inside the batter until everything is well incorporated. So this batter is ready to go inside our baking pan. I'm going to be starting with a layer of the white batter, like half of it or so. Then spread that all around the base of the pan. You don't have to be perfect while doing this, but it's just good to make sure you take your time to spread it around. Next, I'm going to be adding my dark chocolate batter. I'll just be scooping that and just dropping it on my white batter. I don't want to mix it together. The next thing I like to do is to create my pattern on my batter. And to do this, I'm going to be using a table knife. Now, there's no straightforward rule to creating your pattern. Feel free to be as artistic as you can when doing this. It's up to you. The next thing I'm going to do is to add my next layer, which is the white batter. This time around, I'm scooping everything inside the pan. Also, at this point, I'm going to make sure the surface is smooth. And like I said earlier, you don't have to be perfect. Alright, once that is done, I will now be adding the remaining chocolate over the white batter. Then I'll also make the pattern on it again one more time. So that is it. The batter is ready to go into the oven, but before I do, I'll just tap it on the table a couple of times to make sure the surface is even. I'm going to be putting this in a 350 degrees preheated oven, and I'm going to be baking for about 40 to 45 minutes until it's well done on the inside. So our cake is now ready, and I'll just be leaving this on the tabletop to cool for about 10 minutes before I take it out from the pan. And here we go. So before we go, I just want to show you how this looks like on the inside. It's very soft with a very delicate crumb. So I do hope you give this a try. Thank you all for joining me again today. Until next time, I'll talk to you shortly. Enjoy.